guys, welcome back to my canal. So I have a eyeshadow tutorial for you guys today. I'm going to be playing with 3 brand new palettes from the beauty brand called Cara Beauty. So we have the Purple Haze palette, which I'm also going to insert swatches and a up close and personal of every single one of these palettes. And then we have a Girl Scout and then we have Orange Pop. So I got this PR package from Cara Beauty, so thank you so much for this beautiful package, because when I did open up these palettes, you guys, I was literally like, oh my gosh, they're so pretty, so stunning. I did do an IG stories unboxing and I also did some swatches for you guys, and all of you were like, oh my gosh, please do a tutorial on every single palette. So that is what I do have for you guys today. So my eyes are literally gonna be like hurting at the end of this video because I want to do a look for every single palette. I am on Cara Beauty's website, so they actually sell different palettes. They also have like makeup brushes, they also have lashes, so they have a lot of goodies actually for a very affordable price. Each of these palettes do run for $14.99, so it's not a bad price point whatsoever. So you get 16 eyeshadows in every single palette, from anything from shimmery shadows to glitter and matte eyeshadows. So you can definitely buy them separately. They do not have them in a bundle. I wish they would have. I was looking through the website and I don't think they do. Buy all 3. I think it comes up to like $45, which is like a price of one high-end palette. So now, since these were sent to me from Cara Beauty, I'm still gonna give you guys my most honest opinion. You know that I always keep it 100 with you guys if you do need them in your life or if you don't. So just keep that in mind, that I'm always gonna be super honest. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. But I almost forgot, I have to show you guys some swatches. So here we have all 3 palettes, and the first one I'm going to show you guys is the one called Girl Scout. So when you do open this palette up, you have all of these blues and greens, glitter, shimmery shades. It's an absolutely stunning palette, and I can definitely picture myself creating many looks with this particular color scheme. And then we have Orange Pop. Of course, we have all the orange, the browns. I feel like this palette is definitely more wearable and a lot of colors that I can definitely see an average day girl wear, and someone creating very bronzy, soft look. So this is definitely for you guys, for all of my natural, neutral girls. And then we have the other one, which is called Purple Haze. Now you guys know that I love my pink and purples, and this definitely screams out my name. We definitely have a bright yellow and an orange in there, which I thought was kind of odd, but in a way it kind of makes sense, like if you're really creative with your eyeshadows. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some swatches. Here we have the first palette that I showed you guys, which is called Girl Scout, and here we have all of the eyeshadows. I did insert some of the names as well for you guys. And then we have the next one, which is called Orange Pop, and here are those swatches. And as you can tell, it just gives me a lot of like fall vibes, and it's just a really stunning palette. So next we have the Purple Haze swatches, and this literally makes my mouth drool, you guys. It is so pretty. I love the purples and the pinks, the glitters, and this is just something that I would definitely be reaching out for a lot. If you guys have been here on my channel for a very long time, you know that I like to play with purple eyeshadows very frequently. And then here again, we have the names on these swatches. So now let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. So the first shadow that I'm going to go into, you guys, is going to be the shade called Lighter, which is this dark purple right here. Let's go into this little one first, this little small detailed brush, and then we'll switch over to the Morphe M433 to blend it out. So for some reason, I definitely thought this purple was going to be a little bit darker, but it's not. That's okay. That is the only dark purple that there is in this palette, so we're just going to have to work with it. But I definitely thought it was going to be slightly a little bit darker. Maybe they had like a black in here, that would have been perfect. It's blending out really nicely, and it's really pigmented. I was not expecting this. So yeah, so far so good, you guys. So basically right now I'm just patting in the shadow first, as you guys saw previously, and then what I like to do is start to buff it out once I've patted in those patted in the color. Right now I'm gonna go back into that Morphe M433. It does have a little bit of product, so just make sure you dust off the remaining and then start to buff out the edges. Now you guys already know that I like to buff out the edges because once we're ready to go into another color, it has that nice transition rather than it being just one color that's just there, it's stuck and it looks like a harsh line. You definitely want to buff it out so that when you go in with the second color, it blends in beautiful. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade called Match Up, which is this color right here. And we're gonna place this right above Lighter with the Morphe M433 and just start to blend out those edges again. And of course, with the second color, you wanna do the exact same thing. Start to, with no product, whatever you have left from blending out those edges, and start to blend it upward. So that way, once we layer the third color, it blends in nicely. Now I'm gonna go into the shade called Booba Kush, this shade right here. And we're gonna place this right on top of the shade called Match Up. And you guessed it, we're doing the exact same thing. Go in right on top of it and start to buff that out. And yet do the exact same thing because the last shade that we're gonna place is gonna be a lighter pink. So just keep blending away. Now I am going back and forth through those three shades that we just used just to perfect it a little bit more and get more, you know, make them more intense. Even though this is already intense and it's giving me amazing pigmentation, they're blending out really nicely, which I am very happy about because I was super nervous, but this is definitely coming along. So happy with the outcome so far. The next eyeshadow, you guys, that I'm picking up is called Cloud 9 and still using my Morphe M433. We're gonna go ahead and just do the exact same thing. And with this, with whatever you have left on the brush, start to buff it up going towards the brow bone. So that way it looks really nice and smoky and it looks really, really well blended. And now I'm gonna go into my Urban Decay Eden Primer, of course, to cut my crease. We are doing a half cut crease for this look. I am using a small Morphe Detail Concealer brush. You can use whatever you want. At this point, I'm sure you already have a certain concealer that you use to cut your crease. If you don't, I will link an alternative down below because this the number is unfortunately ripped off. Alright guys, so now I'm going back into my Morphe M433 and then picking up the shade called Match Up. And we're gonna go ahead and start to tap in the eyeshadow towards the outer corner only. And then I'm gonna go back into the shade called Lighter, that first dark purple, and then do the exact same thing, but just towards the little corner here. Now I wanted to do a little quick experiment. I wanna go into the shade called Eyes Low, this shade right here. These names are so cute. And I want to do like just a line right here. I'm going to go into the All Nighter Urban Decay Setting Spray and I'm using my Angled Brow E75 because I can't find my MAC 266 brush. Pick up some of that shadow, place it really close to the crease right here, just so we can have a bright shade that gives us a nice pop of color. For the brush, I'm going to go into my Morphe M167 and then picking up the shade called Indica. You guys, these eyeshadows are so creamy. Like, I can't describe the texture of them. They're definitely like on the shimmery side, but let me tell you, this color is absolutely stunning. And I did not go in with any setting spray. This is clearly directly from the pan. Alright guys, so I went into some gel. I'm going into the Morphe Jet Liner. This is what it looks like. And when you open it up, it's just gel. I did go into my Morphe S20 brush and I applied the gel first. And now what I'm doing is going back into the shade called Lighter, that dark plum color, and just going right on top of it to smoke it out. Now you can definitely skip out on the gel liner, you don't have to use it, but I just like how it just looks more darker. And then I am going back into my Morphe M167, taking that shade called Indica and just going back to like touch up anything that I messed up. So while I have my lashes drying before we put them on, I'm going to go into my Sigma Pencil E30 brush, picking up the shade called Indica again, and then maybe just a little bit of Trap. And we're going to go ahead and just start to highlight the inner corner here. And now go ahead and slap your lashes, ladies. Slap your lashes. Slap some lashes on. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I'm going to go back into that Morphe Gel Liner. I'm going into my Sedona Lace EB21. And I'm going to go ahead and just get it really close to my lashes. And we're gonna use this as our base, of course. Go ahead and go back into that dark purple shade called Lighter and start to blend out the liner. So all the colors that we used in the crease are the exact same colors we're gonna use for the lower lash. All right, my honeys, so I went ahead and just finished off my entire face off camera and applied a lipstick. So, well, of course, and finished off this eye. So you guys, my thoughts on the Purple Haze palette is, oh my gosh. I know that eyeshadows, you can't see the full potential unless like your entire face is completely on. And that is the case right now. I am obsessed, you guys, with the Purple Haze palette. So this is definitely a check mark for me, for you guys to definitely purchase this palette. Of course, we still have 2 more palettes to go, but this is my take on using this particular palette on this eyeshadow look. I'm in love. All right, honeys, I'm back and I look super crazy. Oh my gosh. So taking off the purple eyeshadow was a mission and I try to be as gentle as I could. So there is a little bit of staining, as you guys can tell right here, with using that palette. So just an FYI. So I decided to go into the orange pop palette instead, and then I will go into Girl Scout last, just because Girl Scout, with all the blues and greens, they're definitely more, I feel like they're more intense, more pigmented. I feel like that's definitely going to stain a little bit more if the purple palette did. I'm going to go into another Morphe M433 brush, and I'm going to start to go into the shade called Low Eyes, which is this shadow right here. And we're going to place this all over the crease. So I'm gonna start to do it on this eye first. And since we're doing more of a halo eye, I definitely want the focus mostly to be right in the center of my lid. But we still want to apply some nice transition shades in the back. Okay, so the next shade I'm gonna go into is the shade called Cannabis, which is this shadow right here. And with that color, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and start to blend out the edges right here. This will be our next color. Go ahead and start to blend this out. And I am doing this eye also just because so that way it doesn't take as long. I noticed that I took a very long time doing the purple eyeshadow, so I don't want it to take too long. I might as well just, you know, go as we go. They're so pigmented. Like, I'm just really impressed and shocked on how good these eyeshadows are blending out. Like, I am obsessed. Next, you guys, I'm gonna go into the shade called OG Queen, which is this shadow right here. It's a nice like mustardy yellow color, and we're gonna go ahead and just do the exact same thing. Start to buff out the shadow that we just recently placed. Now I'm gonna darken up the inner corner and a little bit towards the crease as well, you guys. I'm really curious to see if this is gonna turn out well because of all the layering that we already did. But let's test these eyeshadows out. So I'm gonna go into back and forth into Exclusive, this brown shade right here, and also the shade called Bank. And I'm still using my Morphe M433. I haven't switched brushes yet. So going into Bank and a little bit of Exclusive back and forth. And we're gonna place this right in the inner corner. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna press the eyeshadow in and just work it in like this. Okay. So it's working good. I was scared that it wasn't gonna show up. And then with whatever you have left, start to take it into the crease. But you know what? I think I'm just gonna leave it right there and then just do the outer corner because we are gonna do a halo eye. Como quiera, no se va a ver the brown shade. So yeah, let's just do that. Let's just keep it in the inner corner and outer corners. Okay, and then I'm just going back into the shade called Low Eyes, which is that first eyeshadow that we used, you guys. And then I'm just gonna start to blend out the edges of that brown and blend that out so that way there's no like drastic harsh lines, and you only want to keep it really close to the outer corner. You can definitely go into a smaller detailed brush, but this is working out just fine for me. Alright guys, so I did this eye off camera because I kind of wanted to see where I was heading towards. I'm going to go into my Morphe M167 brush once again, and I'm going to be picking up the shade called Blunted, which is the shadow right here. And I'm not going to go in with no setting spray. We're literally going to go in directly into the pan, and we're going to place this right here towards the outer and inner corner. But we don't want to hide the dark brown, which we will touch up once we're almost done. And then do the outer corner as well. And the reason why I do a shimmery shadow is because once we go in with this main glitter shade, we want everything to be blended versus when you apply something really heavy like this and like really glittery, it can look choppy. So that's why I like to go in with a shimmery shadow because shimmery shadows blend in really well with matte shadows. And so we don't have those harsh lines. Now we're gonna go into the glitter. I'm still using my Morphe M167 brush, and we're gonna go into the shade called Rolling Up. So this is the main color that we're gonna be placing right in the center. Now I'm not gonna go in with any Fix Plus or setting spray. I'm gonna go in directly into the pan and start to place this eyeshadow, and it's so pretty. It's so glittery. Alright guys, so once you place that glittery shade, I'm gonna go into the Sigma Pencil E30 brush, and I'm gonna be picking up the shade called Sativa, which is this bright yellow shade right here. And we're gonna place this right in our inner corner. Place this right here because I want a nice yellowy inner corner. And just start to buff it upwards like this to connect it to the rest of the eyeshadows. Alright, perfect. So this is what our eyeshadows should be looking like. Super glittery, a nice halo eye. I am loving this palette, you guys, so far. So now it's time to do the lower lash line. So I'm gonna go into the Charlotte Tilbury. This is their Enhance and Pop Your Eye color. Copper Charge Matte. So I'm gonna go into this eyeliner right here, and I'm gonna start to darken up my lower lash line. And going back into that small little Morphe detail brush, I'm gonna go into the shade called Low Eyes, this color right here. And then of course, just gonna go backwards once again with all the shades that we use in the crease down towards the lower lash line. So blend away, my loves. So I'm still gonna go into the shade called Copper Charge Matte, that same Charlotte Tilbury eye pencil, and we're gonna run this into the waterline. So I decided to add a little bit of glitter right in the crease, and I went into the Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy glitter. I don't know why, I just felt like it needed a little extra something else. So anyways, back to the glitter. The shade called Rolling Up, it's definitely so beautiful, you guys. I didn't have to use a glitter base to apply, as you guys saw in the video. I strictly just went in with my Morphe M167 brush. I will say this though, I had to touch up a little bit of glitter right here in the center. So maybe I would say go into a glittery eyeshadow right in the middle as well. Maybe we could have gone into the shade called Light It, this shade right here. And then on top of that, you know, apply Rolling Up in case you don't want like any of your skin peeking through. Like I'm thinking more like throughout the entire day, like if you're wearing this glitter. That's the only thing that I would definitely say. But other than that, I didn't have to use a glitter base to apply it. It's literally staying on there. There's not a lot of crazy fallouts, to be honest. I was able to just wipe away my setting powder and nothing stained my skin, and we are good to go. So I'm definitely obsessed with this palette as well. So far, I'm really loving where all of this is going. Now let's just pray to Jesus that once we go in with Girl Scout, I get the same bomb outcome. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some selfies, remove this eyeshadow. It's gonna be a pain in the because it's glitter. So my poor lids are literally going to hate me, but we gotta get through this. We have one more palette to go. So I'm gonna go into my Morphe M506 brush. It's kind of like the same one from the Morphe one. So that is a dupe. This one is still available to purchase. These little purple ones, they still haven't brought them back, which makes me so sad because they are so good. The first shadow that I'm gonna go into is called Toke It, I think. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Toke It, this shade right here. We're gonna tap it, just the tip of the brush. Next, I'm just gonna start to pat it in like we did with the previous looks. And I also applied some more setting powder. So I might look really crazy, like I literally put my face into a bowl of powder. Baking powder, just in case. But so far it's really weird. I definitely didn't experience very much fallout with the other two palettes. With blues, it can definitely be very tricky and very scary. So you just want to pat the eyeshadow first, and then we'll go back in there to start blending these out. Now for the outer corner, you guys, we definitely want to start to pat it in and kind of do like a flick. We're gonna extend it outwards just a little bit. I don't want it to be like too long of a cut crease. Just a small, decent amount. Alright guys, and then I'm taking another Morphe M433 and I'm just buffing out the edges. And you guys know why. I'm going back in just the tip of this brush back into that eyeshadow and start to buff it out. Next, you guys, I'm gonna go into the shade called Blaze It, which is this one right here, and we're gonna start to just buff out those edges. Still using my Morphe M433, I'm just gonna go ahead and go on top of this. Blend, 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 blend. And now you guys, going back to the Morphe M506 brush, I'm gonna go back into the shade called Take It, that dark blue, and we're just gonna go ahead and start to apply some more in the crease to darken it up just a little bit more. And then I'm just gonna keep going back into the shade called Blaze It again, and then start to blend out the edges once again. So you just wanna keep going back and forth until you are happy with the pigmentation and the way that it's turning out. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade called Mary Jane, which is this shadow right here. And I'm still using my Morphe M433. Now this palette, you guys, well, all of them actually are inspired, I'm guessing, by weed. I'm not a huge weed smoker, nothing against on anybody who does. I used to smoke like when I was in high school, way back in the day, when I used to party a lot with my girlfriends. But I feel like these names are super cute, and if you do like to smoke weed, you guys are definitely going to love the palettes because of the names. Of course, and the pigmentation and the quality of these palettes. So we're gonna go right on top because I do want a little bit of green in here. Which is weird because right now that I'm blending this out, mixing that shade with Blaze It, it kind of looks like a light turquoise color, which I find really, really cute. You just want to bring it all the way towards the inner corner and the center, and then start to buff it out towards the outer corner. And I am going back and forth like this, just very lightly. I did only apply that eyeshadow on the tip of the brush, as you guys can see right there. And then start to blend that in. This is so pretty, you guys. I am literally really obsessed with the quality of this eyeshadow palette. It's going really, really, really good. Like, I am shooketh. Next, you guys, I'm gonna take the shade called Weed, which is this green shade right here, and still using my Morphe M433. What I'm gonna do is just place it right on top of the shade called Mary Jane, just to make it a little bit more greener. And yep, that's exactly what I want. And then once we do have that, I'm gonna go back into the shade called Mary Jane and just blend right on top of it to smoke out those edges. And blend, 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 blend. Now I'm gonna go into my Urban Decay Eden Primer, you guys, and start to cut my crease. And once again, I'm using that small concealer brush from Morphe. And I want to try to follow my natural crease shape as possible, and then just flick it out towards the outer corner to create my cut crease. Alright guys, so I started doing this eye because once again I didn't know where I was heading, but I am happy and satisfied with what I have on this eye. So what I did is I used my MAC 239S brush. It's a nice flat brush, and I did go into some setting spray, just spray that, and we're gonna be picking up the shade called Clear Eyes, which is this really pretty, stunning color right here. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and place it all over the cut crease, go all the way towards the outer corner. This color, you guys, is absolutely beautiful. It is so stunning. I love it. And now what I'm doing next is going back to my Morphe M506 brush, and I'm gonna be picking up the shade called Blaze It, which is this shade right here. And what you're gonna do, you guys, is you're gonna start to create, like if you're doing a wing, and just bring it up towards the outer corner like this. And we're mostly focusing this towards the outer corner. We're not placing this anywhere else. And I don't take it all the way towards the inner corner. We're just gonna leave that blank. Switching back to my Morphe S20 brush. It's just a pencil brush. I'm gonna be going into the shade called High and a little bit of Take It. So these two right here, just the tip of the brush. And what you're gonna do, you guys, is just darken it up just a little bit more. Something like that. Alright guys, so I went ahead and already applied my lashes. Now I am going into my MAC 217 brush, and I'm picking up the shade called Ganga, which is the shadow right here. Literally just the tip of the brush. I just went on top of my brow right here to blend out the shade called Mary Jane. so that way we can highlight our brow bone with this nice yellowy mustardy eyeshadow. For my lower lash line, I do have another Charlotte Tilbury eye pencil. Again, this is their Enhance and Pop Your Eye Color magic eye pencil. I'm going to be using the shade Super Blue Matte. Now at this time, you guys start to, again, whatever you use here, bring it down to the bottom. I'm going into my pencil E30 brush, and I'm picking up again that shade called Clear Eyes that we use all over the lid, and we're just going to place this right in the inner corner. Woo! That's right. All right, my honey, so that's pretty much it for today's video. And I just got done doing my eyeshadow with the Girl Scout palette. Hands down, you guys, I love this look. It looks so pretty. I know that it's really crazy and really out there. Definitely not a more wearable eyeshadow look to wear to like the grocery store or anything like that. But I'm very, very impressed with the quality. The pigmentation is there. You can't beat the price, you guys. $14.99. This video is not sponsored at all. They only sent over the palettes for me to play with and, you know, try out their brand. I am new to their brand. I just really wanted to sit here, you guys, and create 3 different looks for you, so you can definitely see, you know, the quality, the pigmentation, and all that good stuff with every single palette. So I definitely recommend them. I will link their links down below for every single palette. Of course, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe before you do leave my channel today. With that said, you guys, besitos, los quiero mucho, and my eyelids are gonna hurt for a few days. I just know it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!